Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Force with some more Hearthstone. Today's deck we'll be taking a look at is the Contrologist, or the Contrologist deck. It's a warrior control deck from Shocktollogist of BlizzPro. We've got some early game cards for control like the Fiery War Axe and Cleave, the ability to essentially overheal with Shield Block and Armorsmith plus your hero power, and then late game winners such as Grommash Hellscream and Ragnaros. Now with the general premise out of the way, let's take a look at the deck in action. Now I actually had Shocktollogist reach out to me with this deck list to see if I wanted to spotlight it, and after playing a couple of games with it, I really like it. It's a very solid, well put together control warrior deck that seems pretty well adjusted for the current metagame. With this current hand, we're playing a priest. I'm gonna dump the Auctioneer because usually you don't want to play this until after turn 6 or 7 when you can play a few spells with it. The Shield Slam and the Fiery War Axe though will allow us to get rid of some of his early game potential threats, and oh look at that Shield Slam with the Shield Block. Now since we're playing against a priest, we don't expect it's probably gonna be a long game, is what I should basically say. There's a good chance that this is going to be a long, drawn-out game, because a lot of priest decks are also control-oriented, with some early game, such as the Northshire Cleric. However, luckily for us, we held on to the perfect response to that, which is the Fiery War Axe. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of his Cleric. He won't get any draw for that. Absolutely fantastic. We can be happy there with that decision. So we're spending a lot of the early game with this deck trying to control the opponent's board, stop any threats, but then also do that over healing, the ability to essentially go above 30 health and build up that armor. Now in terms of turn 3, it's kind of tough. I'm thinking about playing the Acolyte of Pain, but he's got nothing for me to attack into. My only concern with this is that he could toss a card at it to just kill it outright, but I'm actually gonna do it because at the very least, if he plays a creature, I'll be able to attack into it. It might have been a better play though to armor up. That's debatable in my mind. And definitely I don't want to attack, even if he's running 6 Swamp Oozes. I want to be able to kill his creatures. Alright, so it looks like he is going to, he switches the health at attack of this creature and then pumps up the health of that. So I can attack into that, but that's not going to be a full kill of that creature. So that would also potentially force me to... you know what else I could do though? I could just kill it this way. I think I'm just gonna kill it this way. We're gonna go like this, and I am actually going to throw down a Shield Slam. Or I could do this plus attack into it. Let's throw down a Shield Slam, kill his creature without taking damage to her face, and let's bring 3 damage. Now, I primarily play this because I want to draw cards, but if he's switching the attack and the toughness and allowing me to swing at him for 3 in the face, then I'll take it. I might not get, okay, I'm still gonna get the card draw for this, because he is about to trigger that right now. And if he's wise, he just won't play anything else so that his creature stays in play at least. Okay, so, well, he can play that. What I was gonna say is he shouldn't play any of the creatures. And, oh my gosh, this turn. Oh, this turn. Okay, so here's what this turn is. We kill the first iteration of that. And, I mean, come on. We throw down a Whirlwind. Of course we throw down a Whirlwind there. There's not much of a reason not to. And for the sake of being able to potentially play Cairne next turn and killing his creature, I will play the Fiery War Axe. It could be risky though if he is running 6 Swamp Oozes. I would actually say in the current metagame, this was a fairly risky play. Because the current metagame with so many hunters around, there's a decent amount of people who are running those Oozes. So yeah, that's kind of a tough thing there. We're gonna go ahead and just go with the Bloodhoof right now. This is a tough creature for him to deal with, especially early in the game. And I don't think I want to attack into that. I could do something crazy like attack into it and then execute next turn, but right now, I would just be giving him extra armor at the moment, so we're just gonna let that sit. I'm gonna hold on to my 3/2 weapon. So I've got a big threat for him to deal with. He could deal direct damage to it. Oh, looks like he's actually gonna go ahead and choose to copy it with a Faceless Manipulator. So let's see. I could kill the first iteration this way. But then I have this combo here, so I don't necessarily want to get rid of this card. So this turn is interesting. This would only bring it up to 6, so I couldn't big game Hunter, not that I'd want to anyways. I kind of want to keep this stuff for this combo. So, actually, you know what? Why don't I just get rid of him? And he'll probably attack into that and kill the first iteration. So why don't I? Again, I'm saving this. I know I could get that extra 1 damage, but I'm gonna attack in. Oh, that was not the best play. I'm just gonna do this. We're gonna get rid of his right there like that. Get rid of his first iteration. That was not ideal. That wasn't exactly what I was planning on doing, but c'est la vie. That is what ended up happening. So he's gonna do that. He's gonna have this guy 1 health. But we still have this 4/5 here, and then we can get rid of that either by attacking it. Oh, there's a 4 heal to all. And then there's a Holy Fire, killing off my creature. Okay. Okay.
Made to fit.
Gonna throw him down. And then I guess I'm just gonna armor up and do nothing. Oh, this game is going interestingly, to say the least. He attacks into that and then heals up his creature. There is a swap there. I could just do that. Could also Alexstrasza. It's Alexstrasza. And then because I've got the Gorehowl and I might play that in a coming turn, we're gonna attack right into that. So Alexstrasza brings him down to 15, 16 because he does have that 1 armor there. He's got a few cards to potentially deal with this. Looks like he's gonna throw Power Word Shield at his creature. And then there's the death. Now we're gonna be able to hit him pretty hard next turn. He's got the Soul Priest. So I could do this. It's gonna be 10, 11, 12, 13, yeah, it's gonna be 10, 11, 12 damage, and then I can follow up next turn with a Gorehowl. Now he might take this from me and then attack me with it, but I think this is gonna be the play. We're gonna go like this. Because if he does that, he's not doing anything else. And I'm gonna hit him in the face for 12, bringing him down to 4. So now we've got a victory with a Gorehowl, unless he heals up for 4 or more. Which already, this is, so he's gonna ping that, and it looks like he's just going straight for my creatures. And he's not gonna mind control either, so I'm assuming he doesn't have a mind control. And now he's down at 4 health. And that's really good for us, because we do have the Gorehowl for a secured victory again, unless he heals himself up for above 4. Okay, so he's not killing that creature, so he must have something else to deal with it. He's gonna throw down my Brawl. I love how they just steal our stuff. Oh, okay, so it works out for him. But unfortunately enough for him, what he doesn't know is that we do still have the victory. Well, that was far from perfect. A few misplays, but nonetheless, we do get the win. Let's take a look at the deck list. So I'll just come right out and say it. That was not an ideal game. I definitely, there was probably a few plays that I would have taken back. We did end up getting the win, though. I just think how I dealt with the opponent's Cairne Bloodhoof could have been possibly done a little bit better, especially in hindsight, attacking into him and then realizing, oh yeah, he can just heal it up. So why would I preemptively attack into that creature and take that extra damage? But anyways, that aside, let's take a look at Shocktologist Control Warrior deck, also known as Contrologist, however you want to pronounce it. It's standard fare in a lot of ways in terms of the Control Warrior deck that we've seen in the past, but adjusted for the current metagame. I've got 2 of the Executes, 2 of the Shield Slams, 2 of the Whirlwinds, 2 of the Fiery War Axes, a Cleave, and 2 Slam. All of this provides potential early game and even late game control with the Execute and Shield Slam specifically. But lots of early game control with the War Axe, Cleave, and Slams. Got a single acidic Swamp Ooze to deal with the Hunter heavy metagame, opponent Warriors, Paladins, anyone of course with a weapon. 2 Armorsmiths, so you get that extra armor. A big part of this deck is building up your base armor, getting that extra effective health, potentially healing over 30 health. We've got the Cruel Taskmaster, can be used to pick off creatures, use your small creatures to trade up for your opponent's mid creatures, or of course for the late game finisher with Grommash Hellscream. We've got the shield blocks, again, bumping up your armor, plus getting a card draw. This is a great cantrip card, which basically means it replaces itself and then has another effect on top of it. Very strong. It's actually a very, very, very strong card because, again, it replaces itself, plus you get 5 armor. We've got the Acolyte of Pain for some card draw. We get the Big Game Hunter for removing large threats. We're seeing a lot more large threats in the current metagame now that Taskmaster is garbage. We've got the Brawl for any swarm decks, any zoo decks that your opponent may be playing with tons of creatures in play. The Brawl can help deal with that quite effectively. Faceless Manipulator, either for copying one of your creatures like the Auctioneer, Bloodhoof, or Windrunner, or for copying an opponent's creature. We've got the Auctioneer, Cairne Bloodhoof, and Windrunner. Value from the Bloodhoof and Windrunner. Auctioneer, clearly with all of our low-cost spells, there's so much value to be had in that card. Gorehowl, either for clearing the opponent's board or to get a push through of 7 damage like you saw in that last game. Grommash Hellscream as a nice finisher. Same goes for Ragnaros. And then Alexstrasza to either heal yourself back up if it ever gets to that point, but most of the time it's to get your opponent low so that you can then subsequently finish them off with a Gorehowl plus Alexstrasza attack, or a Hellscream, or the Ragnaros damage. Whatever have you. Alright guys, that is a look at Contrologist's Control Warrior deck. Stay tuned, we'll be doing a gameplay video to follow this one up in the next couple of days, where I'll play a few games with the deck. I really like it. It seems just well-rounded, and it's been pretty effective for me, even with those misplays. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like the content, please subscribe, keep watching, and keep owning.